Hello everyone, and welcome to my Days of Our Lives official. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. At the bar, EJ told Eric that Holly would never trust Eric and Nicole again, but EJ noted that she had EJ to lean on. EJ smugly told Eric that Holly's opinion of both of them had drastically changed. EJ said that Holly had come to him for solace, as Holly was horrified about what Eric had done to her father and what Brady had done to Sarah. EJ said he had empathy for Holly and knew how she felt. Nicole is incapable of putting anyone ahead of you, including her own daughter. Holly is better off without you, EJ said. Eric jumped up from his seat, grabbed EJ by his shirt, and yelled at him to shut up. Eric warned EJ to stay away from Holly. Jada walked in and asked what was going on as she broke up Eric and EJ's fight. EJ lied and said that he'd been there, minding his own business, when Eric had attacked him out of nowhere. EJ demanded that Jada arrest Eric. Jada told EJ to take a walk. EJ said he was there to question Ava Vitali, but Jada said she would handle it and asked him to leave. Once alone, Eric explained that EJ was trying to turn Holly against him and Nicole. Unfortunately, I've given him all the ammunition to do it, Eric said. Tate caught Holly trying to break into Brady's suitcase and asked what she was doing. Holly admitted she was trying to find evidence that Brady had been driving the car that had hit her Aunt Sarah. Maybe he wrote a confession, Holly said. Tate asked if she thought she was Nancy Drew. He asked if Holly had gone there to play amateur sleuth rather than fix their relationship. Holly said she cared for Tate but couldn't deal with him being happy that his dad was not in jail. My mom's in prison, and my dad fell off the wagon and drove drunk. Of course, I'm happy he's not in prison, or I'd be an orphan, Tate said. Holly apologized and said she hadn't thought of it that way. Tate could see she was traumatized about learning that Eric had killed her dad, but Tate noted that she wasn't apologetic. What do I have to apologize for? I was gone one day, and Sophia was all over you, Holly snapped. Love General Hospital, B&B, Days or other soaps? Join the conversation on our SC boards. Click here to connect with fans and dive into discussions now. Tate said he hadn't asked Sophia to come over. He wanted to know why Holly was searching Brady's room. Holly noted that EJ had told her there was no other way to have Brady locked up. You're working with EJ to bring down my dad? Really? EJ DeMera, of all people, after all he did to you and your mom? Tate asked. Holly shot back that at least he had a mom, hers lived in Paris. Mine is in prison, and you want my dad there, too, Tate reminded Holly. Tate told Holly to get out. Brady ran into Brian in town. Brian introduced himself as someone from one of Brady's AA meetings, but Brady didn't recall ever seeing Brian before. Brian quoted a story that Brady had told about his son on drugs. Brady was still unsure but chatted a moment. As they parted, Brian held out his hand. Brady winced as they shook, and he wondered what had poked him. Brian showed him a ring and said it had a rough edge. Sarah confronted Xander in the park. She said that as soon as he had left, she had Henderson bring the van and used location tracking to follow him. Sarah accused Xander of lying to her about confronting Brady again. She told him to show her what the man had given Xander. He said it was for business, but Sarah demanded the truth. Xander pulled out the gun and said Brady would be a dead man in a few hours. Sarah reminded Xander that Brady was her friend. I may never walk again, but I am still here and could have a good life, Sarah said. Xander admired her bravery but said he was angry enough for both of them. Sarah said it broke her heart that Xander would take someone's life in her name. She reminded Xander that he could go to prison for the rest of his life. Victoria and I could lose you forever. I can't handle that, not on top of all this, Sarah said, motioning to her legs. She asked Xander if he thought he would get away with murder. I'm not going to shoot Brady. Brady is going to shoot himself, Xander said. Xander explained that Brady felt guilty about what he had done to Sarah and regretted escaping legal punishment. Are you going to force him to shoot himself? Sarah asked. Xander said that was the plan, more or less, and he assured her that no one could trace it back to him. Sarah said she remembered who Xander was before they had met and that he had said he was a changed man. She begged Xander not to follow through with his plan. Sarah told Xander to let karma or the universe take care of Brady, but Xander said he was Kiriaki's and Victor's son. "You are not Victor," Sarah cried. She reminded Xander that Brady was Victor's grandson, as well as a son, brother, and father. Xander quipped that Brady would have lots of people at his funeral then. Sarah argued that the accident had been awful but not intentional. Xander disagreed, insisting that every step of that night had been a decision that Brady had chosen to make. "Admit it, you want justice, too," Xander said. Sarah said she was upset but trying to get past it. Xander thought she never would if she constantly ran into Brady all over town. Sarah agreed that she wanted Brady punished, but she wanted it done by the criminal justice system. Xander's phone dinged. He had a message from Brian that read, "It's done." Xander urged Sarah to go back home with Henderson and suggested she focus on how much he loved her. Fiona befriended Sophia at the restaurant during Sophia's shift. She convinced Sophia to sit and chat while Fiona drank a martini. Sophia shared that she had a crush on someone at school who was dating someone else. Sophia said the couple were totally wrong for each other and that she and the guy had a connection. Fiona said to keep trying, but not to the point that he was wasting Sophia's time. Fiona left Sophia a huge tip and reminded her that the martini was their little secret. After Fiona left, Tate came. He told Sophia about his fight with Holly. Sophia gave Tate a soothing hug and told him to tell her everything. EJ ran into Holly. She was crying, and he hugged her. EJ took her home, and Holly told him about her fight with Tate. Holly admitted that Tate had caught her searching Brady's room. Holly said she missed Tate but didn't know how they could be together. Holly said Tate was defending his father for something no one should ever defend. EJ promised to make Holly's needs his top priority and told Holly that he cared about her. "I am going to make that bastard pay for what he has done," EJ said. Sarah went home but wondered what she should do. Fiona came in and asked where Xander was. Sarah told Fiona that there was something she should know. Jada came downstairs and said that Ava wasn't in her room. Eric said he would tell Ava that Jada was looking for her. Jada's phone rang. It was Sarah, and she said that she needed to talk to Jada and that it was an emergency. By the time Brady made it home, he was breathing heavily, couldn't walk straight, and was rambling and slurring. Tate thought Brady was drunk and got him into bed to sleep it off. When Tate left the suite, Xander broke in. He took out his gun and made his way to the bedroom, where Brady was sleeping. Looking at Brady sleeping, Xander noted that the drug had done its job. He said to himself that all he needed to do was put the gun in Brady's hand and pull the trigger. Xander lamented that his only regret was that Brady wouldn't feel any pain. Just then, Jada knocked on the door and entered. She asked why Xander was there. Xander said he had gone there to check on Brady and offer his support, but he had found Brady passed out. Jada said Sarah had called with rather shocking information.